wait a minute. Where are you going?
Out.
Well, I can see that. I thought you had an essay to write.
I can do that when I get back.
Yes, well, you better... What are you wearing your coat like that for?
Oh, what?
Not over your shoulders.
I've just slipped it on. I may not wear it.
You should make up your mind.
Why?
Well, if a coat's got sleeves, no doubt put on at considerable expense, why not use them? It's not a cape, is it?
I don't know what all the fuss is about. Just because I haven't got my arms in the sleeves, what's wrong with that?
Well, let's just say it's a trend I don't particularly approve of. Apart from that, he looks affected.
Affected? You're so bourgeois.
Matthew, come back here. Are you wearing makeup? What? You heard what I said. Are you wearing cosmetics?
No.
Yes, you are. Your eyes are standing out like saucers.
Well, I've got a little liner on.
Liner?
And some base.
Base? Oh, no, I thought we had enough problems with your hair changing colour.
My hair's not changing colour.
Well, the bathroom towels are. They're turning green. If you're using peroxide...
I'm not. I'm just bringing out the highlights, that's all.
Highlights? Oh, no, I don't believe it. What's this for, Matthew? What's the reason for it?
It's a very good reason, actually. I'm going for an audition.
An audition?
At the college. I'm taking up acting.
Taking up acting? When did you ever stop?
I'm serious. I want to do something with my life. And I know now I'll never make it as a rock singer.
Why not?
I haven't got a voice.
Well, that's never stopped the others. Why acting?
Because I'm looking for something. Ever thought there may be something I can do better than anyone else in the world?
You found it, Matthew. It's called skiving.
You don't approve of actors, do you?
No, I don't, as a matter of fact. That profession attracts a very dubious type of person. A little too fond of the eyeliner and standing around with empty sleeves. Apart from that, they live in a fantasy world, and you certainly don't need that.
What's wrong with a little fantasy? People like fantasy. They like to dream. That's why actors can make a lot of money.
They can also starve. Most of them are out of work, Matthew.
Well, perhaps I'll be one of the exceptions.
Well, perhaps. I wouldn't bank on it.
Well, thanks for those few words of confidence. Well, it may interest you to know that Lydia thinks I have potential.
Who's Lydia?
Our drama advisor.
I thought there'd be a woman in it somewhere.
She's putting on scenes from Shakespeare and she's asked me to audition. She'd like me to read a sonnet. I know. Why don't you hear me read?
No.
Why not?
No, I've got things to do.
Such as?
I've got to water the geraniums.
That's no excuse. Come on. Won't take a second.
I suppose it's a love poem.
Yep.
I thought so. Read it to Enid.
I don't want to read it to Enid. I want to read it to you.
But I'm busy.
What's the matter? Are you embarrassed?
No.
Yes, you are. You hate any expression of feeling, don't you?
No, All right. Get on with it.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I heard raised voices.
That's all right, Enid. Matthew's just comparing me to a summer's day.
Oh, poetry. That's nice. Go on, Matthew.
Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometimes declines by chance on nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal beauty shall not fade. Well, what do you think?
I think I better water the geraniums.
I must finish that iron.
Now, Matthew, we'll take it from put out the light.
Right. Put out the light.
No, without the book, Matthew.
Without the book?
Well, we have been rehearsing for several weeks, Matthew. We should know our lines by now. After all, we open on Friday.
Of course. And I do appreciate you coming round to help me like this, Mrs. Lane.
Please. Lydia?
Lydia.
Or better still, Desdemona. Innocent child bride of a fiercely passionate and fiery warrior.
Right.
Now, take it from put out the light, and when you get to when I have plucked thy rose, I cannot give it vital growth again. It needs must wither, I'll smell it on the tree. Kiss me.
I beg your pardon?
Kiss me.
Now?
Yes.
On our settee?
We have to see if it works. We haven't done it yet.
I realise we haven't done it yet, Mrs. Lane. I thought we were saving that for the night.
Well, we can't leave everything to the last moment, Matthew. And when you get to our balmy breath that dost almost persuade justice to break her sword one more, kiss me again.
Again?
Yes, twice.
That makes 3 times in all, Mrs. Lane.
Yes, you see, it's your kisses that wake me from my slumber.
Well, I realise that. I realise my kisses wake you from your slumber. Is Mr. Lane going to be there on Friday?
Of course he's going to be there. He's moving the scenery.
Oh, good.
Now, Matthew. Put out the light. No, the line, Matthew.
Oh, sorry. Put out the light, and then put out the light.
Excuse me, Enid. When you finish checking the woodworm, I'd like to go through.
I wouldn't go in there, Mr. Willows, at least not without knocking.
Why not?
That's not for me to say. All I know is she's old enough to be his mother.
What?
One more. One more.
Matthew, could I see you for a moment?
What's that?
Just what do you think you're doing in there?
Rehearsing.
All right, Matthew, I'm not reproaching you. You wouldn't be the first young man to have his head turned by an older woman. But it never works, believe me, I've seen it happen. There's no future in it. Oh, it may look roses now, but she's not getting any younger. Now just think ahead. One day you could be pushing her around in a wheelchair, feeding her rusks. You've done with it. Rehearsing?
For the play.
Play? I mean, you were acting with her?
Yeah. Didn't think I was doing it for real, did you?
I didn't know what to think, did I?
Well, I must have been pretty convincing.
Convincing? What I want to know is if that's the rehearsal, what's the real thing going to be?
Mrs. Lane thought we should bring out the realism.
You're bringing out the realism, all right. Mrs. Lane? What do you mean, she's married?
Yeah.
Why was she stretched out like that?
She's supposed to be sleeping. It's the bedroom scene.
The bedroom scene? You mean you're going to be romping around with a married woman in public?
Not romping. I have to smother her.
Oh, that's great, isn't it? First sex, now sadism. And what about Mr. Lane? What's he going to be doing during this night of lust?
Moving the scenery.
Is he? You'll be lucky if you don't get a weight on your head.
No, I won't, because it won't be me up there. It'll be Othello.
You're playing Othello?
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
I can see one slight drawback. He was black.
I know.
Well, couldn't they have got one of the black students to play the part?
No. They're all in the basketball team. Except Clyde. He wouldn't touch it.
Well, why wouldn't Clyde touch it?
He's playing Henry V.
Henry V wasn't black.
I know, but we thought I'd make a change.
Well, couldn't you have played Henry V?
No. It's all swords in that scene. You could cut yourself. No, I'm more of a smotherer. No, I have to go. She's waiting. Oh, and try not to interrupt us again. This scene requires a great deal of concentration. Put out the light, and then put out the light. If I quench thee, thou flaming minister,
Oh, dear, oh, dear.
I can thy former light restore. Should I repent me? But once put out thy light...
What's the matter, Matthew?
I can't do it while he's staring at me.
You better get used to it. They're going to be staring at you on Friday.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing.
Start again, Matthew, and I don't think there's any reason to put the light on and off.
I thought that was an interesting bit of business, Lydia. I was demonstrating that I could switch that light on and off, but not yours.
I don't think it's strictly necessary.
You think they'll get it?
Oh, I'm sure they will.
Oh.
Start again, Matthew.
No, not while he's here.
Matthew, I think we begin to need an audience.
I don't mind an audience. It's all this groaning, he thinks I'm rubbish.
Oh, I'm sure your father doesn't think that.
Of course not. Little wooden, perhaps.
Wouldn't?
Yes, well, when it says put out the light and then put out the light, I don't think you should sound like a visiting electrician.
Electrician?
And a dozy one at that. But that's only my opinion, of course. But, a little more to Othello.
Yes, now, I think that is quite valid. Perhaps you could brighten him a little.
Why? He's not that bright, is he? He's only going to bump his wife off because someone's got her handkerchief. All he's got to say is what's happened to your hanky, Desdemona. She could tell him she lost it and there wouldn't be any murder.
There wouldn't be any play either.
I think the handkerchief is largely symbolic, Matthew.
Precisely, Lydia. We're talking about a man who loved not wisely but too well. Not easily jealous, but being wrought, perplexed in the extreme, like the base Indian threw a pearl away, richer than all his tribe.
You've obviously studied the character, Mr. Willis.